the feelings are complex feelings. I guess the best way to describe it is it was the worst day of my life. And in some ways, the greatest day of my life in terms of my city, my country, my family. It was the worst foreign attack on this country since the War of 1812. It was a complete surprise. It was an attack on completely innocent people, and I watched it firsthand.
Well, to be clear, it wasn't a complete surprise. They did have that folder warning that bin Laden intended to strike in the U.S., but I'll give him that one. That is Giuliani saying it was the best of times, it was the worst of times, but in the worst possible context. That seems bad to me, Francesca, but I want to have a little bit of a debate. If we liked Giuliani, would we extend him the credit to think that he means it was the best day because it showed him America pulling together? Like, how much work should we do to fill in the massive, gaping, insane rhetorical hole in that statement?
I mean, it absolutely, for Rudy Giuliani, was the best day of his life because he suddenly, his approval rating was like dog crap at that point. And he completely turned it around. He was America's mayor. Oh my God. I mean, at least he had the decency to say it was a bad day, because ultimately it was a great day for Rudy Giuliani, and him just having to go down to ground zero and say a few things like, this was awful. Let's hold each other. You know what I mean? Just do the things that most mayors are supposed to do when your city gets attacked like that. And then it was okay, oh my God, we're going to forget that you just locked up the mentally ill. We're going to forget all the going after petty crime. We're going to forget all the black and brown people that you locked up. We're going to forget how, everyone, there's a great documentary called Giuliani Time. It's old, so it kind of has that weird grainy early 2000s feel, but it's so good. Giuliani Time is an excellent doc for those who want to see before this crazier version of Giuliani emerged. He was also a terrible mayor, and then he had this one bright spot.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah. So maybe he's just being honest. Maybe he means something deeper, but he forgot to circle back to it. But don't. Either way, do not refer to 9/11 as one of the thousands of people lost family members, friends, all of that. Don't say that it was the best day. Jesus. But I'm going to close by adding on this. I feel the need every year to remind you of one of the craziest things that happened on one of the anniversaries of 9/11, which was it was the day, lest you forget, that Ted Cruz liked a porn video on Twitter. Yes. Great taste in videos. Seems amazing. He's a good guy in that respect. But anyway, no. He was called out. I'm joking. He was called out on Twitter for liking this video of, I think it's a voyeuristic MILF thing, and that's fun. But that actually led to more fun than just the tweet. They implied that it wasn't him, that it was a team member or something. Sure, Teddy. But anyway, that led people to remember what he had done back before he became a senator. So back in 2007, when he was the Solicitor General of Texas, 2 sex toy companies sued to overturn a state ban on sex toys because that's a thing that the party of small government made law in Texas, was you can't have the sex toys. So anyway, the state defended the ban in submissions that were partly written by Cruz's office, saying there is no substantive due process right to, quote, stimulate one's genitals for non-medical purposes unrelated to procreation or outside of an interpersonal relationship, which again, the idea that you would read into a lack of explicit right to stimulate your genitals just for the fun of it, oh, well, that means the government can regulate it. That's bonkers. But the fact that he was involved in that led Craig Mazin, an amazing screenwriter, who apparently was also his roommate in college, to tweet, Ted Cruz thinks people don't have a right to stimulate their genitals. I was his college roommate. This would be a new belief of his.
Oh,
devastating. Oh my God. Craig Mazin has multiple hits. He wrote Chernobyl and that tweet. The hits keep coming. Anyway.
He was like, I've seen something so horrible, I need to blot that out by working on the most horrible series possible, Chernobyl. the next biggest crime against humanity than having to be Ted Cruz's roommate while he masturbates.
Oh God, masturbation aside, can you imagine him as a roommate? He would have been just unbearable.